No. You've never been to jail?
When Gorilla was arrested on July 22nd for felony possession of marijuana found at her home, she ran afoul of the law. New jail footage has now surfaced. To put it mildly, she doesn't look nice. But then there's the big stunner. First of all, she was not even being pursued by the police. We are fully aware of every detail. Let's break it down. Behind bars, Glorilla. Everyone is talking about the recently released video that shows Glorilla in prison. Although most people are too busy praising her flawless mugshot, the real story of her arrest in July 2025 has the hip-hop community furious and raising significant questions about how the system actually functions. Let me start by explaining everything to you, because the story starts in a way that enrages everyone. Consider this. On July 20th, 2025, at 1:30 a.m., 3 suspects decide to break into Gorilla's home in the Forward County neighborhood of St. Marlow. However, this is what attracted everyone's attention. Glow wasn't even home when this happened. She performed at the WNBA All-Star Game halftime show in Indianapolis, bringing that Memphis energy to the stage, and drawing athletes like Angel Reese to the sidelines. The burglary situation rapidly worsened after a family member inside the house fired shots to repel the intruders, who then left after taking valuables. It's a blessing that nobody was hurt. But what happened next is where the story takes a turn that makes everyone in the culture question everything. When police arrived to investigate the break-in, they allegedly smelled marijuana and decided to get a search warrant. Instead of focusing on catching the actual criminals who broke into her home, they found what they described as a significant amount of marijuana, more than 1 ounce, in her master bedroom closet, in addition to a restricted substance listed in Schedule 1. 2 days later, on July 22nd, Gorilla voluntarily checked herself into the Forsyth County Jail. She was charged with both Schedule 1 drug possession and felony marijuana possession, posted a $22,260 bond, and was released the same day. But the real story is more complex than the charges. It's about how the real criminals went free while the victim of a home invasion was the only one apprehended. When Glorilla voiced her opposition to this problem, the internet rallied behind her. Everyone was made aware of the law enforcement priorities after she took to X to explain everything that had happened. That's how she opened up, breaking down the shocking situation in 3 sharp points that fans shared like wildfire. Her words were raw but powerful, instantly shutting down rumors. She made it clear, no, she wasn't busted. Her house was robbed. She wasn't even home. On Saturday, while she was in Indianapolis performing for the WNBA All-Star Game, criminals forced their way inside. And instead of chasing suspects, police focused on cannabis. That post blew up instantly, pulling in over 60,000 likes and thousands of reposts, with fans nationwide furious at what they saw as twisted priorities. Her legal team didn't hold back either. Attorneys Drew Finding and Marissa Goldberg came out swinging, calling the arrest a disturbing look at how law enforcement has lost focus. They stressed police should have been catching the violent criminals who traumatized her family, not digging for cannabis in a state where it's still illegal recreationally. The timing made everything worse. Here was a woman away from home, working, representing her city at a major sporting event, bringing energy and pride to the stage. While she was hyping up the crowd and showcasing Memphis talent, her home was violated. And somehow, she's the one in handcuffs. Fans erupted instantly, proving the deep love and respect she's earned in the culture. Social media turned into a storm of support, echoing the same message everywhere: outrage at the system, sympathy for Glow as the victim, and loud demands for real justice. Twitter especially went wild, with posts hitting tens of thousands of reactions. One fan wrote, "So, you mean to tell me Gorilla's house got broken into? And instead of looking for invaders, police searched the place, then arrested her over weed when she wasn't even there? That's insane." Another viral post added, "Her home was burglarized by 3 suspects when she wasn't even there. Then police found weed. She was the victim, yet she got arrested," pulling 19,000 likes and over 2,600 reposts. That's what had fans furious, calling out a system they see as completely twisted. The support wasn't just about defending Glow, it was about exposing priorities that made no sense. Comments like, "They will do anything to bring you down. They had no business searching anything when people stole from her," showed how fans linked this to broader issues of how Black women and Black artists get treated by police. What stood out even more was the mix of anger and humor that makes hip-hop culture so strong. Even while demanding justice, people cracked jokes and made memes to process the mess. One viral post read, "Did I read that right? Somebody burglarized Gorilla's house, saw some weed, and arrested her when she wasn't even home? Huh." Using humor to spotlight how backwards it all was. But here's where things get even deeper. This arrest connects to Glow's larger legal history because it wasn't her first run-in with Georgia law enforcement. This was actually her second arrest in just 15 months, both tied to drugs, and fans felt it showed a pattern of unfair targeting. The first big case that made headlines came in April 2024. That one also sparked controversy, though for different reasons. She was pulled over in Gwinnett County for making an illegal U-turn at a red light. But what happened during that stop became internet legend for all kinds of reasons. "Were you drinking tonight?" an officer asked. The body cam footage from that DUI arrest went viral, not because of the charge, but because of how Glow handled it. She wasn't making it easy for police, and her personality came through in a way that had people laughing and cringing at the same time. That wild story spread across social media in 2023, showing just how fast the internet can twist a joke into something people believe. It all started when she played along with a fake scenario during a funny Marco comedy interview, but fans took it literally and ran with it. By April, the rumors had gotten so out of control that Glow had to step in and shut them down herself on X. "Y'all really believed I went to jail for stealing cereal? Why you hearts be in y'all today believing whatever they tell you?" she wrote, clearly frustrated that people had bought into it. The fact she even had to waste time clearing that up showed the extra nonsense female rappers deal with, on top of real arrests and real charges. And those arrests were serious enough. Back in Georgia, Glow was pulled over in Gwinnett County for an illegal U-turn at a red light. Officers claimed they smelled alcohol and marijuana. She kept insisting she was fine, but the footage showed her struggling with sobriety tests and having what people called a wardrobe malfunction. That case eventually ended without jail time, though fines or probation weren't made public. Fans noticed a troubling pattern. Both of Glow's run-ins happened in Georgia, a state with strict drug laws, raising questions about whether she was being unfairly targeted. Beyond the legal problems, Glow has faced constant scrutiny over her image, lyrics, and success. Old videos sparked catfish accusations, while backlash over using an ableist word in a track preview forced her to revise it, proving she listens to fans when called out. Even her wins stirred up controversy. When she took home the Dr. Bobby Jones Best Gospel Inspirational Award at the 2025 BET Awards for Rain Down on Me, traditional gospel fans were furious, saying a secular rapper shouldn't be winning gospel awards. Singer Dietrich hadn't blasted the decision, calling it discouraging and proof the genre needed change. But Glow kept pushing forward, showing resilience despite constant criticism. From feuds with other female rappers to gossip over her looks, every move has been judged. The most explosive feud came with JT from City Girls, where personal insults, social media warfare, and accusations of sneak dissing turned a rumor into weeks of rap drama. Podcast host Armin Wiggins even claimed Glow tried to greet JT at the 2023 MTV VMAs, but was coldly brushed off, sparking a chain reaction of beef that fans ate up online. Looking at it all together, from fake prison rumors to legal battles, lyrical backlash to industry feuds, Glow has had to develop tough skin to survive in the spotlight. Her story is not just about talent, but about resilience against non-stop controversy.
And JT snubbed her off, like in a very nasty, catty way, like rolled her eyes at her and ignored her. And Glorilla went in to try to speak and kind of give her a hug, and JT kind of gave like...
That brutal insult from JT lit up Twitter and pushed her feud with Glorilla into overdrive. According to Wiggins, the beef had roots in an alleged MTV VMA incident where Glow tried to greet JT with a hug, but was coldly snubbed. Some even claimed Glow slapped JT or threw something, though no footage surfaced and most people dismissed it as podcast gossip. Still, that didn't matter. Once the story hit the internet, it became part of the narrative. Fans picked sides, adding their own versions of what supposedly happened, while both artists faced endless questions about whether they really had beef. Things stayed tense until April 5th, 2024, when Glow dropped her mixtape Ething Ing with a track called 8, directly addressing JT. The lyrics tried to clear the air. Me and JT ain't the best of friends, but we ain't beefing. But JT saw it as Glow using the rumors for clout. What really set JT off was the connection to Glow's earlier lines about slapping rappers in songs like the FNF Let's Go remix. When a fan asked online if Glow had actually slapped her, it was like sparking a fire in a gas station. JT exploded, denying the slap rumors but unleashing a storm of insults. She called Glow sneaky, messy, and phony, accusing her of switching on friends and coming into the game ready to betray her own camp. She tied it to drama around the FNF remix, saying it showed Glow's true character. Then JT's shots turned personal, mocking Glow's looks, her past, and even posting cryptic mugshot images with a blank slot, hinting she was ready for a physical confrontation.
Everything just always everything. At the end of the day, that they gonna end.
Yeah, hello. and it's all the truth though. You hit her with the purse.
Everything is everything.
That was Glorilla's fiery clapback at JT, proving she wasn't backing down from the smoke. She accused JT of holding secret animosity and mocked her attempt to clear up the slap rumors by saying, "What you wanted me to say? I didn't slap you, but with a purse instead." Things got so heated that Glow threatened to crash JT's shows and drag her mugshots, tweeting, "The mugshots is for me stealing, not fighting." Both rappers hurled insults, calling each other corny, scary, and liars, while fans devoured every tweet like a live rap battle. What made it even messier was how it played into the bigger narrative of women in hip-hop being pitted against each other, showing how social media can turn a small misunderstanding into major beef. The exchange only lasted about a day on Twitter before both artists pulled back, but the damage to public perception stuck. Later, on a red carpet, Glow gave a cryptic answer when asked about the feud, saying, "Everything is everything. At the end of the day, that day going to mother end." Her words didn't clear much up, but later she confirmed that she and JT weren't best friends, yet not beefing either, hinting they had settled things or at least agreed to move on. JT never disputed that version, and no new shots have been fired since. The public reaction was divided. Some fans thought the feud was unnecessary drama distracting from their music, while hip-hop outlets pointed to it as another example of stan wars, blowing up situations that might not have been real beef at all. Many blamed Glow for fueling rumors, while others said JT overreacted to what was meant as peace. But if you thought the JT drama was messy, the controversy that really tested Glow's friendships was still ahead, one sparked by a single careless...
Apparently, JT and Glorilla got into a fight or some sort of tussle backstage at the 2023 VMAs this year. Yes, girl. Girls were fighting at the VMAs backstage. We all thought it was going to be Nicki, Cardi, and Meg, and really it was Glorilla and JT duking it out backstage, but the girls were kind of keeping it hush-hush.
Post in May 2025 that put her at odds with Megan Thee Stallion. That was the reaction blowing up Twitter on May 21st, 2025, after Glorilla reposted what seemed like an innocent Instagram story, but with Tory Lanez's 2015 track YDR playing in the background. Given Lena's 2022 conviction for shooting Megan Thee Stallion and Megan's recent IG live about ongoing harassment from Lena supporters, the timing felt brutal. Within hours, screenshots showed Megan had unfollowed Glow and archived joint posts, including a birthday tribute. Fans were stunned. Their friendship seemed genuine, with Megan bringing Glow on the Hot Girl Summer Tour and featuring her on major records. To many, this post felt like betrayal. Glow deleted the story quickly, but the damage was done. The hotties dragged her online, calling her ungrateful and a snake. Posts like Megan's bestie posting Tory Lanez's music? Thoughts racked up thousands of likes. Knowing the storm could spiral, Glow addressed it the next day, calling it an innocent repost. She explained she hadn't realized the track was Lena's until fans pointed it out. "I didn't know what song was playing in the background until everybody said something. I deleted it as soon as I seen the comments. Innocent repost, I don't do mess." She refollowed Megan and reshared their joint content, signaling she wanted to fix things. Some fans accepted the explanation. It's possible to share something without clocking every detail. But for others, especially Megan's hardcore supporters, the excuse felt weak. How could Glow not know what she was posting when it involved someone who literally traumatized her friend? Megan herself stayed silent publicly, which was the smartest move. Sources close to her said the unfollow was a knee-jerk reaction, not a permanent rift. By July 2025, both were following each other again and had privately cleared the air. Still, the incident was a cautionary tale. It showed how fragile friendships can look under the spotlight, how trauma reshapes trust, and how one careless post can ignite chaos. For Glow, it was another lesson in how every move gets dissected when you have a platform. These bumps have shaped her reputation as both authentic and unfiltered, someone who faces problems head-on rather than letting them fester. From here, the story shifts to her bigger journey, the evolution of Gloria Hallelujah Woods. Born July 28, 1999, in Memphis, Glow went from singing in church choirs to earning Grammy nods and BET awards. Her path tells the story of a young woman learning to navigate fame, industry politics, and public scrutiny while staying true to her roots. It all began at 16, when she lost her singing voice due to illness and, instead of quitting, turned to rapping, a choice that changed everything. Glorilla could have given up on music entirely when illness took her singing voice at 16. Instead, she adapted, turning to rap and bringing that same church-trained vocal power and Memphis authenticity into a whole new genre. What seemed like a setback became the foundation for her resilience and success. Her career began in Memphis's underground rap scene with the mixtape Most Likely Up Next, 2019, and the EP P Status, 2020. But everything changed in April 2022 when she dropped FNF, Let's Go, with Hit Kid. The anthem's viral success led to her signing with Yo Gotti's CMG in July 2022, connecting her to Memphis's hip-hop legacy while giving her the resources to rise fast. By 2023, Glorilla was a XXL freshman. Her EP Anyways, Life's Great peaked at number 11 on the Billboard 200, and she proved her momentum wasn't a fluke. Collabs pushed her higher. Tomorrow 2 with Cardi B went double platinum, and Wanna Be with Megan Thee Stallion became a summer anthem. Her debut album Glorious, October 2024, peaked at number 5 on Billboard, marking the best first-week sales for any female rapper that year and cementing her as a force. She also expanded creatively. Singles like Typa and Rain Down on Me, with Kirk Franklin and Maverick City Music, showed range. Rain Down on Me even earned her the Dr. Bobby Jones Best Gospel/Inspirational Award at the 2025 BET Awards. Meanwhile, her live shows turned legendary. The WNBA All-Star Halftime Show in 2025 had players like Angel Reese dancing courtside, and her Glorious tour proved she could headline nationwide, despite hiccups like a St. Louis show cut short by fan brawls. Awards followed. Hip-Hop Artist of the Year at the 2025 iHeartRadio Awards, plus the Billboard Women in Music Powerhouse Award. But Glow's personal life also fueled her image. Her celibacy journey, which began as a 90-day challenge in January 2024, became a faith-based commitment. She shared the ups and downs online with humor, tweeting on day 9, "My vision blurry AF. Send help." And on day 30, joking, "Y'all posting these positions is none but the devil. Get behind me, Satan." Fans loved her honesty, and when she extended the celibacy indefinitely, "Not dating, not linking, not talking to nobody until God sends me my husband," it became part of her brand of authenticity. She doubled down on wellness too, launching a February 2025 challenge with no alcohol and regular workouts. Fans praised her transparency, and many joined in. Rumors tied her to Drake, 2022, NBA star Damian Lillard, 2024, and Speedy Mormon after flirty interview, but Glow kept her dating life private and used her single status to stay locked in on her career. Even legal troubles, like her July 2025 arrest, didn't slow her down. Her Glow Bash concert in Memphis went on as scheduled. Through it all, she's remained a symbol of authenticity. The church-trained Memphis rapper who overcame setbacks, weathered controversy, and stayed true to her roots while climbing to the top of hip-hop. That's all, folks. For more updates on what's trending, click the card on screen.